If you are one of those who thinks I clearly mentioned Claude to not use red, then why my website is like a communist flag? I given Claude all the context possible. Then why he can't correct even one single function? Is that's how I'm gonna be jobless? That's how Claude gonna take my job? So don't worry. It's definitely gonna take your job. It's not Claude who is doing it wrong, it's you who is not prompting correctly. So here are four common mistakes which we make and how to correct them. So first one is context overload. Loading too much irrelevant context into Claude's working memory, causing it to lose focus on what actually matters. So what happens is we provide too much context to Claude which is not relevant at all, and that cause its context memory to fill up. And he can't pinpoint like what we are asking him to do. For example, like user loaded all 50 file in his source folder, all 20 test files, 5 different MCP domains, and entire read.md. So what happens is you have provided Claude with 10,000 lines of context. So when you write fixed typo in line 42 of order.py, he struggled to find that file. Instead, what you should do is you should provide Claude with a specific file in which you want something to fix. Like if you want him to correct a function logic, just provide that function or that file in which that function resides. Like we often think more context equal to better output, but in actually relevant context equal to better output, not lot of context equal to. So that you should keep in mind while prompting. And second one, that one is like this is the most common mistake we make, and I used to make this a lot. Burying the most important requirement deep in a long prompt, causing Claude to miss them entirely. So, for example, user prompting like user need an API endpoint, and he wrote a prompt for that. I need you to implement a shipping protection feature. The feature, what's that feature should do? It have two cost standard code $5, premium code $7, and $7 not so bad for premium cost. Customer can add gift card. That's good. Gift always good. The feature should integrate with our existing order system. Okay, so our system not black. Good. Make sure to handle all edge cases. Not bad. And don't forget, this is critical. All premium calculation must be server side for security. Oh, and write test too. So, like at first glance, this note looks so bad. Okay, it look okay. But the thing is, like we mentioned, critical. All premium calculation must be server side for security. So that a critical requirement. But what we did wrong is we buried it under this much line of prompting. So what we should do is we should start with what's critical, what matters the most, because Claude read our prompt from top to down. So most critical requirement should always be put upfront. And the third one is negation blindness. So what happen is if I say don't don't pick red, instantly red comes to your mind. Don't imagine elephant. Of course an elephant comes to your mind. So similar thing happens with Claude, like not similar, but you got my point. When we use negation of something, don't use bcrypt with fewer than 12 round. So Claude might mismiss don't, and he will assume that we want to use bcrypt with 10 rounds. Because if we are providing a lot of prompting and there are a lot of context, he might miss that we don't want that. So instead, what should we do? We should provide it with positive prompting and definitive prompting, like use bcrypt with a minimum of 12 rounds. So there is nothing to miss there. Like he will use bcrypt with 12 rounds, and that happens a lot. So you should especially keep that in mind. And some cases which commonly occur is don't forget authentication. We feel like okay, that's right, we did nothing wrong. We mentioned clearly don't forget authentication. But what should you do is head to password bearer authentication. Don't skip input validation. Instead, you should mention validate all inputs. Never return anything important in API response. Instead, you should mention what you want to be returned in API response. Okay, so things like that matter a lot. Tell Claude what to do, not what not to do. Oh, that's a catchy line, not what not to do. Okay, so lack of grounding. Like grounding is a bigger topic. Like there are some three and four topic methods come under grounding, and it's very important too. So I will make a separate video about it. And it's very important when you are working in a big organization or working on some project where decision making is very important. So not providing domain specific rules, constant and definition of done, causing Claude to rely on generic AI knowledge. Let me explain this with an example. Like if you are only mentioning implement password hashing, so Claude has no context. He will just gonna use his generic AI knowledge, and you, as you know, like AI hallucinate sometimes, so he may give you some plausible sounding answer which is not correct at all, but it sounds correct. So like in that case, you are just mentioned implement password hashing. So he is gonna use his AI knowledge and implement it with 10 rounds. But maybe your organization require 12 rounds. So what you should do is you should always refer to documentation, your organization documentation, or if you are working on personal project, you should always mention what you want clearly and very specifically. You should not rely on generic knowledge of AI. Okay. So in like when you are working in organization, in what order you use grounding sources? So first priority is for MCP enterprise standards. These are have highest priority and they are organization specific. Then second priority comes for Cloud.md. These are project specific rules which we contain in Cloud.md. Then we should mention .cloud/rules. These are domain specific conventions. And at last we should refer to pro project context.md. These are technical constants for that project. If you want, I'll just comment down below. I will create a separate video for them. So what the golden rule is, don't let Claude guess. Provide authoritative sources. Whatever you want, provide him with specific data, a specific context, like from where you want that. So he will generate better response. Whenever Claude give you weird answer, just check for these four things: relevant requirement, front-loaded requirement, positive phrasing, and grounding instructions. And you will good to go. So that's how you're gonna lose your job to Claude. Work hard. So next time when you are prompting, use these simple tricks and you're gonna save lot of frustration and lot of tokens. Thanks.